Okay, so we played against Rakdos Sephiroth yesterday, and we played it with Aerith. I'm told that's a flavor win. That was our one loss, and the deck looked pretty good. So this was it was very similar to our first draft of Sephiroth. Oh, make sure this is the right build. Looks right. I've gone through several iterations of this too. So one thing is we're playing the full 4 Bombardment because it's really easy to loot away extra copies, and you really, really want this card to be in play. And our first draft was also playing War and Soul Trader combo, but playing against that yesterday, it seemed like this build is really easily able to present turn 4 wins without Soul Trader, which is great because then your card quality gets to be higher and you're less fragile to removal. Now, I also built a Mardu build of this, which is basically a Johnny over Bowmaster, Flage over Kroxa, and Trespasser, and then there's one other little difference. I think it's one more land. Now, your mana is much worse in that build. Your card quality is higher. You also get to play like 3 less utility lands. You don't get to play the tower or the trawlers. So I want to start with Rakdos today. This is just what's calling to me. It looked really good yesterday. It's possible, of course, that the Mardu build is going to be better. This is also just the sweeter deck. Kind of a slow hand on the draw. Let's keep. I have the Mardu version of the Mox Field if y'all want to peep that too. So we've got a Street Wraith. Oh, hey, you built my deck. Cool. So we're probably playing the Rakdos. Oh, they're playing the Mire Cecil. Okay. Okay, well, shout out Surveillance. So they're going to flip the Cecil here. My hand is like insanely Thoughtseize proof. Does Sephiroth work with Keen Sin's Curiosity? It's a life loss, not a damage. Yeah, I do think Caretaker's underexplored. It's just one of these annoying streams where the deck is like literally I have like 5 insane games in a row with Caretaker's talent. And then it's just like on stream, I just flood screw, sweeper, flood screw, and you know, it is what it is. That's kind of the Boros Convoke experience, but I'm interested in continuing to work on Caretaker's talent. Griffith! Alright, so I took one of my 2 bombardments. We get to Graveyard of Bloodghast, which is insanely lucky. My opponent's at 8. Seems hard to not play a bombardment. Maybe it gets snared or stubbed, but... Okay, it does get stubbed. They play another Cecil, and they play a 3/3 Death Shadow, and another 3/3 Death Shadow. So definitely some tension here. Good thing I built their deck. I think we just... So if I play the Cecil, it turns the shadows into 4/4s. I guess that's actually kind of a big problemo, huh? Yeah, seems like we actually just chill here. So I should have surveilled. I think let's kill a shadow here. So they're down to a shadow and a Cecil. The shadow's now a 5/5. I'm down to 7 life points. They top decked a frog, which is pretty good. So that's 2 damage in the air. Usually favorable. Bloodghast is back. Bloodghast is back. Gotta unearth this turn, I think. I could kill my own Bowmaster. To drain for 1 more, and then I have an extra blocker, but then I don't have the Bowmaster in play against the Frog, which honestly isn't all that relevant. Going up to 7 allows me... It doesn't really let me do that much, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to play Rakdos in the challenge. Rakdos Cecil. Interesting game here. I have a proof of concept for Mono White Caretaker's Cake. If interested, I can post it. You can post it. I've built it a couple times too. I do think there's something there. Oh yeah, kill Bloodghast. I guess maybe still can if they draw a card off the frog. So presumably they're gonna fly the frog, right? All right, so we take one. We drain for one. We're both at 6. Then I kill my Bloodghast. I think that's got to be better than hitting them because I just go up a life point, a very valuable life point. So if I attack with the Sephiroth, then I kind of have to, don't I? It does shrink the shadow. Okay, that's kind of the best top deck. So now I can go second main phase, second Cecil, sack the Orc, and then I can play this, kill the Cecil. Play Bloodghast from hand. I don't think it accomplishes that much besides letting me attack with the other one, which is, maybe that's kind of valuable. Okay, so we can go Kroxa and escape Kroxa next turn. Did you hear Strip Mine is getting printed in Edge of Eternity bonus sheet? I mean, it's been reprinted a couple times in like there's a Expedition Strip Mine, right? All right, so it looks like we're gonna win this one. Kroxa's evoke trigger basically does trigger the Sephiroth. They discard a Street Wraith. They go down to 4. All right, and they pass it back. So up a game against Cecil Shadow. There's a lot of different versions of that deck out there. I'm not really sure what the best is. Bring a couple pushes in. I think we want to keep in the graveyard Trespassers. Maybe we don't. Their deck is basically all 1 mana 4/4s, which is kind of bad against 3 mana 3/3. They don't really have a lot of graveyard synergies. So yeah, let's just cut those. Yeah, so like the second build of Cecil Shadow we played was playing Urza Saga and Overlord and Hex Parasite. I don't know if they're doing that, but Hex Parasite let you control your life total a bit more, which was nice, and you have a lot of ways. You have 4 ways to tutor it. I think just playing no shadows is also fine, or like less than 4 shadows. I think this is a matchup we can keep the 7. Magus might low-key be good. One day I could put Magus the Boon in the sideboard, and we won't have all the thirsty gamers. Do it, Spike. Blood Boon them. Do it. Spike, just Blood Boon them. It's. I don't like to bring in Magus in these kind of matchups. It's just so high variance. We're on the draw also. Yes, it might get them. But it's just, if I have Magus in my sideboard, everyone's always so thirsty. Okay, probably want to play a Bowmaster this turn to make the frog a little bit worse. Okay, we're going to graveyard this for the Unearth. Huh. Maybe now I just go Supplier, Unearth, Sephiroth. Let's do that. Yeah, Last Ride is okay. We played a little bit of it. It's not like a super important card, I guess. We milled a Kroxa too. We drew a Nightmare. Interesting. Do you mill a Bloodghast maybe? Not a Bloodghast. Another Spyro and another Sephiroth, though. Considering adding Flare, cost sucking up. Sorry, okay, that's way too deep, I think. You don't have enough colorless sources for K command. 8 sources is like not enough. I mean, it's like it's kind of 12 with the temple, but you need to be playing like the White Desert and stuff. Wait, you have Sunken Citadel but no fields, or you must play a lot more colorless sources. Is the answer? I'm not going to register Path to Exile, but yeah, this isn't too dissimilar from like where my draft was. I wasn't playing Timeless Dragon. I was playing Guide and Pride. Like, you know, like Pride is also good with Saga. It seems like you're jumping through a lot of hoops to not register the Image 3 cards. All right, so they flipped the Tamiyo. Would have been good to play the Bowmaster this turn. I think what we did ended up being better though. Now the flip Tamiyo did trigger Revolt, so they do have the Fatal Push. And then they Thoughtseize me. I guess they're going to take the Seasoned Pyromancer. We'll see. Cool game. Right, they do take the Seasoned Pyromancer. Looting is interesting. Let's go ahead and cast Looting, and then probably just take it slow with Bombardment here. Okay, I don't have another basic swamp, so yeah, let's just go resolve the Bombardment. And then next turn we can go Bowmaster Nightmare potentially. Although they might Thoughtseize my Nightmare. If they do that, we could escape Kroxa. They missed their land drop last turn. They do find it this turn. They hit me for 2 down to 13. They have 4 cards in their hand now. And access to push and Thoughtseize off Tamiyo. They do choose the Thoughtseize. I think this makes sense. The Nightmare is pretty dang good against them. They take the Bowmaster like immediately. So they have a Stubborn Denial in their hand is what they're saying. They play a 3/4 Goyf, and then they play a Tamiyo. So no Stubborn Denial. Well, let's see what we draw. We draw land, so Kroxa easy mode, I guess. Or not easy mode, just easy decision. And they didn't pick up Fatal Push last turn. They have 1 card in their hand after this Kroxa trigger resolves. Bowman kills their Tamiyo. I mean, is that important? The Nightmare is just like, if I draw any creature here, their Tamiyo is also dead, and I get to Seasoned Pyromancer and have a ton of blockers and a ton of value. I guess if I get back Spyro, I do lose the Nightmare. Okay, they have a Graveyard Trespasser. So this is going to put them to 7. It's going to put me down to 8. Oh, they target not a creature. They target one of my 2 Faithless Lootings, which is kind of wild also. They can attack and they can fly the frog, which shrinks the Goyf. Very interesting that they would choose to play the Graveyard Trespasser before drawing a card off the frog. That's probably what we would call a mistake. Notably now, the Goyf is now a 2/3. So if they don't have a creature or land drawn off the frog, then they can't double block my Kroxa. They're going to discard whatever they draw to the frog because of the Kroxa trigger, probably, unless they don't want to take the 3 damage, which I guess they can't take the 3 damage because they died to Bombardment plus Spyro plus Kroxa sack. So they drew a land there for sure. He's dead. I drew another land. I don't think I need to Desperation dig for... Okay, I guess let's just take our time here, because I can go Kroxa or sack Kroxa to Nightmare, get back Bowmaster, and then I can go ping them for 1 with the Bowmaster trigger, which puts them down to 5. I can sack the spawn token to put them down to 4. I can Nightmare the Bowmaster to get back another Bowmaster, which puts them down to 3. Then I can sack the spawn token to cast Nightmare again, get Bowmaster back again. Yeah, I think I have lethal. I have lethal without letting them go like... Yeah, so the problem is if I attack and they discard like a creature, then they could double block my Kroxa, then I can't do that. So they could double block because of Tommy. Well, I just care about the Kroxa living. I don't care about this having 6 power. I care about having 6 toughness. Are they jumping? Well, the thing is they could double block and kill the Kroxa if they drew a creature. And I see a lethal line that wins without combat, so I don't see why we shouldn't take it. Can you not Nightmare Kroxa twice after attack for lethal ETB? No, because like how can I cast it? How I can't. They can kill my Kroxa, so I can't. I guess I could have gone attack. Yeah, no, I don't think so. This is a lethal line though. I think. Maybe I missed something. So sack, Nightmare. Looks like Xaxes. Can't you just recast Kroxa? I mean, that's not lethal though. If they have a spell that's like they're at 6 life. I attack, they discard a spell, they're at 6. They block, I recast Kroxa. I sack Kroxa, ping them to 5, recast. They go down to 2. I sack to Bombardment again. They go down to 1, right? But like this just played around everything, I think. What about Samwise combo with Apprentice and Sephiroth? I don't know if you want to play Apprentice in that. You can play Sephiroth and Sam combo. You can do it. Can't you return it and guarantee 3 damage sack again? No, because like what do you sack to the Nightmare to return the Kroxa? If the Kroxa died in combat because they discarded a creature. I'm a big enigmatic incarnation hater, unfortunately, Davis. But congratulations. Do this actually. Okay, up against a Brood Scale. What's nice is that Sephiroth shuts down the Brood Scale combo. The build's a little bit interesting. Cauldron, okay, that's pretty good. Very good. Yeah, that was the only thing I had. So nothing to sack. Okay, they exile my Trawler, which is kind of nice because I might need to flashback this looting. They play the Brood Scale. I don't know that they realize, or if they realize that, yeah, the Sephiroth shuts this down. Although, oh no, them having Ballista unshuts it down, doesn't it? Oh no. It's kind of unlucky for them to have Cauldron and Ballista and Brood Scale and Blade. I don't know. Maybe that's just the deck, but it's like this. I remember maybe this is just how the matchup goes. Tough. They realize like immediately too. Okay, let's bring in the meltdowns and the pushes. I don't know if I want all 3 meltdowns. It's probably fine. I want to cut the Kroxas. They want to go down to Nightmare. Cut the Trespassers too, and then click the submit button. Remember when Magus of the Moon killed Blood Moon? Or killed Urza Saga? Yeah, the medium thing is a stream inside joke that I've never thought was funny, but it used to be. It's so dumb. People used to either go big fan, and then people started saying small fan, and now they say medium fan. And I don't know. I think the fact that I don't think it's funny is why y'all keep saying it. All right, let's keep this. Let's put back the looting with nothing good to discard here. It's a little funny, maybe. Yeah, I know the medium fans are the true fans. I don't know. It just happens so many times. I just don't think it's that funny. Okay, Cauldron scary. Second halfling. All right, there he is. Certainly the best draw. We could do some weirdness where we like attack and try to get them to either not block or Bowmaster the halfling, but I think I just need this in play too badly. Okay, that's a good draw. So we probably need to, I guess it's possible we die this turn if they have, again, Blade, Brood Scale, and Ballista in their hand. We probably need to Meltdown next turn. They play a Dredger's Insight, which mills a 6, a Slogurk, an Odawar, and a Saga. Okay, opponent's really cooking. They do pick up the Saga. Yeah, who up Gherkin? If I draw a Fatal Push, then I'm gonna, I guess, wait a turn on the Meltdown. Seph does counter the combo, but the problem is if they have Ballista under Cauldron, then they can kill your Sephiroth, which is what happened last game. So they can't make a token and block here. Just fire off the Unearth. Yeah, I guess I don't understand. Are they also playing Young Wolf? Might be. They do make a construct. Does stuff really counter the combo when they can still just pay 10 life for a 12/12? Yeah. You've at that point gained 10 life, so a 12/12 doesn't seem to matter very much. Can I flip the Sephiroth next turn? So I can go Bowmaster. That's one trigger. Or I guess I could go, I don't know if it's better to do that first. Bowmaster, Unearth the Bowmaster, ping itself, make an Orc army. Then I can sack to tower, then I can attack. I think that's only 4. Alright, they get a Blade, and then they rumble into a Ballista and a Brood Scale. Okay, I'll take a look at the list. Weird. Interesting, but weird. This stayed in? Alright, let's get cooking. I've triggered Sephiroth once. Alright, couldn't cook hard enough. I think I target this. So that's 2 Sephiroth triggers. If I attack, they just block it with Grist, and I lose my combo protection, so let's pass back. Ballista beats Sephiroth even without Cauldron. Cauldron make 8 mana. Ballista Sephiroth, then keep comboing. Well, it only needs to be 6 mana, but it's that is a lot of damage to take, so your life total can't be too low. If I try diversion with Return to the Ranks, I mean it doesn't really fit with like the Sephiroth stuff very well. I think I have played Return to the Ranks a couple times though. Didn't we have the flip with Bowmaster 1, Unearth 2, Tower 3, Self Attack 4? It has to be 5, right? Oh, it is 4th. Sorry, I thought it was 5. Is there an infinite combo with Slogurk, or does it accumulate counters quickly for Cauldron? I think it's just that. If there's an infinite combo, let me know. Are we missing one or two? Are we missing one or two 1-mana sack outlets? Well, the thing is that all those you can play Carrion Feeder if you want to. I think that card kind of sucks. We have 4 Goblin Bombardments and a lot of draw to find them. The Carrion Feeder isn't a very good card, especially if you're not playing like Cauldron Ballista stuff. Slogurk mostly good with the channel lands. Interesting. They currently can't adapt. They Ballista on 0. Okay, so let's see what they could do. Also, another thing too is like this does become a 5/5 pretty fast. So they have to Ballista at X equals 5, right? If they just have the second Cauldron, they just have the second Cauldron. I considered a copy or 2 of Mayhem Devil. I think I'd rather play a copy or 2 of Trespasser. Devil's kind of only good when you have Goblin Bombardment and a lot of other stuff in play. And in those situations, like, you know, you should be pretty fine anyways. Well, surely they don't have Cauldron. Surely that would have been in play already if that was in their hand. They need to kill it before it flips. I don't think they can kill it before it flips. Oh, you know what? I think we scooped too early last game. Okay, so they're going to do this on my turn. Very interesting. All right, so this is trigger number 1. So this goes a counter on the blade, counter on the Brood Scale. Trigger number 2. So they are responding to the is the 4th time ability this resolve this turn? Okay, resolved. So they kill this in response to the triggers. Shout out active player, non-active player knowledge. Yeah, this gets me. Cool. Nice way to lose. All right, let's run it back. Okay, I think we're leading on the looting here. Okay, well, I'm glad we added the flares. Discard 2 Bloodghast, pretty good. Although, you know, this start actually, it might be possible to beat. No, we can't beat Leyland Scion. Maybe they just don't have the Scion like this time. See if they have the answer to a bombardment. Not a stub. They might have a binding still. So we've played 3 games against Domain Zoo with this deck so far. In all 3 of those games, they've had 7-card Leyline Scion hands, which is tough. I'm gonna try to overpower it here, but let's not get too hopeful. Need to find a Spyro or a Sephiroth off the mills, which we don't do. All right, let's go to game 2 then. Yeah, you can flip the Sephiroth. I think it's just too tough without a powerful turn that turn. Okay, so this time we've got the flares. So I don't know if we want to bring in the Thoughtseizes now. I think we could do down 1 Kroxa, 2 Bowmaster, click submit. Does this play Bombardment with the Bloodghast? Well, I don't know if you tuned in within the last 10 seconds, but if you if you weren't, the very last we had 2 Bloodghast and Bombardment in play just a moment ago. I recommend playing answers side and side where people do. We did add 3 Flare of Malice, so we have the answers. They don't have the Scion this time. We did add them. Okay, we milled over a Kroxa. We also milled over a Flare and a Looting. Draw another Unearth. I just tuned in. Yeah, it's just funny because like literally 10 seconds before you asked the question, we had 2 Bloodghast and a Bombardment in play. Alright, keep a card on top. Alright, I do think we need this mill, so I'm going to go ahead and sack the Supplier here. We do mill over a Sephiroth and a Bowmasters. I might just unearth both of those next turn. Full out bounce would be great here. Yeah, we do have it. We have 2 more in the deck right now, 3 total. Great. Alright. When is MH4? Hopefully never. Or if not never, not for a very long time after they have a more clear design direction. You know, it's like I've been reflecting on this a lot. Like with the exception of Grief, the MH2 cards, like if you wanted to be like really good or really exploit any of these cards or play like singular answers to cards like Ragavan, Solitude, Subtlety, Urza Saga, it was just very easy to counter these cards. When you compare these to the MH3 cards, it's just the design philosophy is so different. But there's no MH4 announced. I think it's very unlikely they do it next year. They have the design direction, busted shit that sells packs. Well, that was also the case for MH2, but it was busted. There was a lot of busted stuff that was also like, at least in my opinion, had like a lot of fun metagame dynamics and like back and forth play and easy to counter and easy to metagame for. What if they did another? Yeah, if they had a design philosophy a lot closer to MH2, then I would be interested in MH3. But like everything about the like there were just not very many good choices made with MH3, I think, which is sad. All right, a land to escape Kroxa would be fun. So we draw an Unearth for the Sephiroth. Yeah, I don't think I'd play the Bombardment first. I think we'll just Unearth first. Okay, sure. So like, maybe we missed 1 damage, but maybe we draw a land and we play Trespasser instead. Okay, so glad this isn't a Kavu. Okay, nice to just entomb there. Would I consult on Image 4 if you could do it while being able to stream? Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, that was the problem last time was I wasn't able to stream, so I didn't consult on it, and now I'm live a life full of regrets. Gonna haste another Scion? Haste a Kavu? Haste a Kavu is so gross. Arena Kavu to exile my Kroxa is like just devastating. Wait, no, what is this? Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I might still have lethal if I draw a fetch land. Like, this is 5, 6, and then the Bloodghast is 4. Yeah, fetch land is lethal for me. I could even try to looting into 1. Wait, they looted with the Kavu? They didn't exile my Kroxa. Okay, so they're just dead to Kroxa. Great. Even, they're going to take 9 from the Kroxa, even if their last card is a spell, then we sack it to Bombardment. Well, that was a freebie. How would I rank the MH sets? MH2, best set of all time, honestly. Just like I say that with no irony. MH1, bad overall, but like not nearly as bad as MH3, which is unironically my least favorite set of all time after playing a lot with it. It was very overwhelming, very hard to like understand that, and I understand why they made a lot of the mistakes they made, but Nadu, Guide, Pride, Flage, Ajani, K-Command, Ugin's Labyrinth, Sowing, Micah Spawn, to Tommy. I do like Tomio a lot, but like it's also one of these cards that just like Wrath the Sky is like why? All these cards just make me say why. It's just such a high density of cards that are super efficient. They just do everything. They're incredibly hard to be good against. It's just so annoying. Yeah, Frog. I didn't like Frog. There's probably 1 or 2 more on the list too. Was land Bloodghast lethal? I think I was missing 1. So fetch land was lethal, right? Because we get to go fetch land, bring back Bloodghast, sack, bring back Bloodghast again, haste the Trespasser. Haste Trespasser is 6, ETB, attack, exile, and then sack the Bombardment, and then the Bloodghast is 4. sack it twice, and attack with it for 2. Alright, nice looking hand. Modern is getting getting a lot better these days, but it was just so bad for so long. Okay, we don't have the flare yet. They're not definitely having Scion, but at least we're drawing to outs if they have it. I'm gonna play the Supplier turn 1. It's gonna give me a lot more info on the looting. It might just give me a better Unearth target too. How would you feel about an MH set with nothing but legacy cards, new snow stuff? I'm like not interested in that like at all, to be honest. There are very few legacy cards that I think would be interesting in Modern or powerful in Modern. I'm very uninterested in turning Modern into Legacy Light or like all of these like iconic legacy cards like Force of Will, Wasteland, Days, that Swords of Plowshares that people suggest. I think all of those would be bad for Modern, and just not interested. Okay, they don't have the Scion this time, which is good. All right, let's start off with the looting. All right, I guess we discard 1, 2. Isn't that the exact opposite of my unban takes? Isn't what the exact opposite of my unban takes? I do have an inverse philosophy when it comes to bans and unbans, but I'm just not even sure what we're talking about. Isn't Solitude just a better Swords in theory anyways? No. No. And you know that too, blue-white control players. You know Swords is better. They bolt Bloodghast, so I guess they can exile with the Kavu. And I know you know. Alright, jump in with the Supplier. Build over a Flare of Malice, an Unearth, and a Bowmaster. We draw a Sephiroth. So it seems like they have a Binding or a Bolt, and they are unsure if they want to use it on the Trespasser or not. What's kind of interesting is I could try to use the Bowmaster to kill the Kavu. I could go ping it once. If they draw, I could ping it again. I think I'm just going to play another Graveyard Trespasser, though. Like, it seems like my opponent only has 3 cards. It seems like one of them is an instant speed removal spell. My unbanned philosophy is all about let's throw in iconic cards, even though they never saw Modern play because they were banned from the very beginning. I don't understand why Punishing Fire would be good to have back, but something pushed out of Legacy wouldn't be okay. Isn't that what Punishing Fire has been for the last 15 years? A card only from Legacy. If not Fire, then Jitte. I think that's fine. I'll say that like when it comes to Punishing Fire and Jitte specifically, like they're just very low power level cards, and so like it doesn't really matter a lot to unban them. It's like honestly just kind of embarrassing that they're on the ban list in my opinion. But they are in the Modern card pool already. You know, they are like just because it is a little bit different for them to be pre-banned versus like the cards that were only Legacy specific. But there also just aren't enough Legacy cards that exist out there, I think, that I would be super interested in having be legal. There's just that the list is just too small. All right, so they can't kill both Trespassers here. They just target me. Yeah, but it's I don't know. I'll say sure you caught me, but again, there just isn't a very long list of cards that are legal only in Legacy that I want in Modern. They discard a Flooded Strand, they draw another card. Like the cards I actually want unbanned that like actually I think would be good for Modern gameplay are like Ponder and Deathrite Shaman, which I actually did see play. Or was Ponder ever legal in Modern? I know it was legal in Standard. Just give me Deathrite Shaman. So we get to flip the Trespassers. We get to go up to 11. Just need to dodge a Scion. Ponder is banned to Substorm. Yeah, this was a little bit before my time. Yeah, like there are some legacy cards that you could print and be fine, but to say a whole set of the question I was referring to is a whole set. There aren't 200 legacy cards that I would want in the modern format. I'm scared of Death Threat Shaman in Modern after playing with it against a Timeless. Losing the game to a Mandork is not fun. Maybe that's where Modern's at. Yeah, it's just the power level of Death Threat Shaman compared to Tamio, Guide Pride, and like to a lesser extent Ragavan. It's just kind of silly. And when you talk about like Tamio, Guide Pride, DRC, Ragavan, like all of these really powerful one drops, like green doesn't have a powerful one drop. Black has Nethergoyf. Black has Nethergoyf, which is strong, but I think it's just like I think it buffs the exact strategies you want to buff, and I think it makes gameplay better. And if you disagree, that's okay. What are some settings you'd like to see in WotC's universe beyond sets? You know, just the things I like, I guess. Elden Ring, Expedition 33, Dark Souls, that kind of stuff. So I have one creature in my graveyard here. Now I have two. Let me see if I find three. My opponent is probably dead. Oh, sorry, I thought I had one more Surveil land. I guess did I just mill it over? Milled it over a while ago. Alright, looks like we got him. Funny to not even need the flares. Probably put back the Trespasser here, right? And then seems like we should probably fetch turn one to shuffle this back in, and you know, the thinning matters a tiny bit. So we mill a Bloodghast, a Nightmare, and a Supplier. Not too bad. They cycle a Street Wraith. Kind of hoping it's like a Cecil deck instead of Living End, although Living End's not a terrible matchup with all of our self-mill and the Vexing Baubles and stuff. Just not that interesting. Yeah, this is probably blue-black Cecil again. One on top, one on bottom. Bloodghast comes back. And it seems like I just kind of want to leave Nightmare as a protection spell for the Sephiroth. It doesn't really seem like I want it to be... I don't want to like get back a Supplier right now. Yeah, Forsaken Miner would be cool. It's like a little bit... I know it's pretty Winmore sometimes, but not a card I hate. Was thinking about maybe wanting to save the fetch land for like a Bloodghast Bombardment turn, but if we draw and resolve a Bombardment, we probably don't need the fetch land value. Yeah, just leaving the Nightmare in play. We could have gone digging for a different 3-drop by sacking the Supplier, but I also don't mind just blocking the Cecil with the Supplier this turn. Especially because we could mill a Kroxa and then just Arena of Glory next turn. Wait, weren't they at 13? I guess they were at 12. I'm still blocking. I just thought they were at 13. So they play a 3/3 Shadow, 4/4 Shadow, 4/4 Shadow. Interesting. Oh, the Sephiroth drained them for 1, I see. Makes sense. You can play a Curse of Marauder. It's not like a mandatory inclusion, but you can. Oh, I don't want to do that, I think. So I was going to just get back Sephiroth. Maybe I still do, because... You know what? I think I still do. It's like a little weird, but like I mean, they're just... The Cecil Shadow stuff just is a big deal in these matchups and maybe just in general. But I don't think we just need to be very scared at all about what's going on over there. So I think we discard a Looting and then a Blood Crypt. Any thoughts on playing Mono Blue or is it a challenge anytime soon? I mean, I'm open to it. It's definitely one of our challenge decks. Alright, so they grow the shadows to 5. I don't think I was playing Sulphurous Springs. They attack with just the shadows. We'll go to block here, take 5, and then they go down to 7 off the Sephiroth trigger. Kind of a high chance my Nightmare gets countered. Oh, this is a Murktide? Okay, 4/4 Murktide, not really scary. I think we supply first here. They do have the stub. So we attack, and if they block with Cecil, the shadows shrink, and if they don't, then we get to drain for 1. Maybe that's not as important as I think it is. The joke with Cecil and Shadow is to go low on life and just have a 4/4 lifelink with things that don't want high life total. Well, the real thing is that you're a Thoughtseize. If you play Cecil is a great card. Cecil makes you want to play Street Wraith and Thoughtseize and Stubborn Denial. That if you're playing all of these cards, the card Death Shadow is really strong in your deck, and so it's like, yes, these situations come up, but it's not. It's kind of just not that devastating either. Okay, I'm a little bit Sephiroth flooded. So I think I'm going to say no to sacking anything here. I kind of need the chump blocker, and I want to make their blocks awkward. So the Nombo is weaker than the combo. The Nombo is weaker than the combo. I guess I don't understand what you're saying, but the Nombo is weaker than the combo. You don't have to play Death Shadow in these builds. We have done it. It's just that like the shadow of Stubborn Denial, Nethergoyf, Cecil, Street Wraith, Thoughtseize has been pretty solid. And again, if you're just already playing all of these cards, then like Death Shadow is good with all of these cards besides Cecil. The synergy outweighs the downsides. You could put it that way. I'm not even sure. We've played 2 different builds of Cecil Shadow. We've had positive records both times. The Nombo has come up both times. Shadow has still felt like a solid card both times. It's just like all of these things have felt to be true, and I don't really know where I'm at with it. Do I block the Cecil? Probably we just need to keep our life total higher against the flyer. Cecil is also a super solid card on its own. Okay, so maybe this is where part of the disconnect is. Cecil is a much better card than Death Shadow. You can play a turn 1. It flips into a giant lifelinker. Cecil is better than Death Shadow. Like, maybe that's where part of this disconnect is coming from. It's kind of not about, like, and so you're a Cecil deck that happens to meet all of Death Shadow's requirements, but Cecil and Shadow play poorly together. So this brings back 2 copies of Bloodghast, which both have haste. We have a Kroxa in the yard. I don't know if that's better than the Spyro. Okay, Spyro's going to be better now. There has to be a reason you didn't include Shadow in your list. I'm assuming it's a non we talk about. Well, I think you're thinking about the Rakdos build, but my... Oh no! I got 2 chats unlocked. So I meant to cast Spyro first and haste it. But like, we've played 2 builds of this. We played it on set release, and we did have Shadow in the build. Would Nethergoyf just be better than Shadow? The build also should play 4 Nethergoyf. I don't know if our opponent's doing that because they're playing Murktide. But Nethergoyf is also better than Shadow. Got monologuing too much. Okay, thankfully they don't have a counterspell for the Spyro. We draw 2 Unearth. We knew we were drawing 1. I guess I didn't plan to draw the second very well. Do I go for Graveyard Trespasser? Yeah, that seems good. Might get stubbed. How often do you manage to flip Cecil? In your fetch shock, Street Wraith, Thoughtseize deck, it's very often turn 2. But you can find those builds on the YouTube, on the Mox Field, all that. Let's get back to this game. You should play 4 Cecil though. So we're at 13. They have 3 shadows that are 9/9s. It's a cool game here. Is there a deck around using Flip Cecil to activate Ferocious on Fanatic Aronis? I haven't seen that. Alright, are we dead? Yes, we're dead. Does an Unearth Kroxa kill the Besef? No, they just discard a spell. And they had a counter spell for the Unearth. Alright, down a game. Fun matchup. Let's bring in the Flares. Now, I think I cut the Trespassers last time. They're just kind of small against all the 4/4s. It's kind of interesting to cut them in this kind of matchup. Yeah, I thought we were going to win that one also. We might have won the game if I had hasted the Spyro and attacked. I was too busy responding. Okay, Magic Online is frozen. Let me try restarting. I have to task manager it. Yeah, I'm not sure. So if we haste the Seasoned Pyromancer, they have 1 blocker. We attack with Sephiroth and the Bloodghast. We sack the elemental token to the... We sack elemental token to the Sephiroth. They block Sephiroth. They take 1 from that trigger. Sephiroth doesn't trigger on itself. I think they either went to 1 or 0. I'm not sure. Okay, so timer's still frozen. Okay, we're back. I don't know what I want my last cut to be. Maybe 4th Bowmaster. The Nightmares, I think, are just really good against them. Although maybe they play into stub too much. Alright, I don't think we should mulligan this on the play. Combo was Xaxie's bummer. Caught monologuing. Okay, our opponent is on a Molda 6. Yeah, Yawgmoth and Sephiroth I do think would be friends. Not that I know much about the lore. They so quickly took that Goblin Bombardment. Unbelievably quickly. Ah, they must have known I was drawing a second Nightmare. Maybe they have Graveyard Hate. That's something we could infer here, maybe. They play a Frog. Big draw step for us. Not a big draw. So them surveilling means they're probably not going to be able to Fatal Push this. They Graveyard a Sink. And then they attack. If I block, they have to discard 2 of their 4 cards. I think it's probably not a good play to block here. Interesting that I guess they probably don't have a Fatal Push in their hand if they played this first. They do have a Cecil. And we have a really high amount of good draws. We've drawn, unfortunately, another land. We might as well play out a second Nightmare, which we could chain some stuff in together well, but just some bad draws. I don't know if I'm supposed to block the Cecil or not. Probably not. Like, we kind of just need... We need the, like, attack trigger off the Sephiroth, probably. Interesting. I would have blocked every time. Could you expand on that? I just have so many draws that, like, I really want the Sephiroth still in play. But maybe with the Nightmares, like, you know, that's less of a thing. Maybe this is the turn with double Nightmare in play. Just if I draw like a Supplier, this could be way worse. I guess it could be okay. They discard a Thoughtseize. They discard a Fatal Push. 3 cards in their hand. And they play at Murktide. I think our hand sucks, so making them discard 2 to put some parity sounds nice. Well, our hand sucking is kind of why I didn't want to block, so that I could untap and get something going. Yeah, but maybe I've misread the situation. Like, if I had started this turn with Sephiroth in play, you know, it is kind of a lot better. So I go, get back Bowmaster. I guess I should have just surveilled first. Is there much... So I can go sack this to Nightmare, play Nightmare, get back Bowmaster. I think I'd rather not. So I should surveil first. Okay, I do find Seasoned Pyromancer. Think it's better to get the Sephiroth back, just more life. Gotta keep pinging them. Not sure. Weird game. They do get to flip the Cecil. Yeah, I kind of need to block the Cecil. This is 11. I'm down to 9. They draw a card. Oh, I forgot that Cecil triggers on itself. Okay, so I'm at 10. They're at 4. They play a Shadow. They play a Nile Spellbomb, which is just game over. Okay, they crack a main phase, so it's not game over anymore. Unbelievably lucky that they did this. Certainly not in good shape, but like, we just auto lose if they don't do this. Definitely need some run good still. We mill a Bloodghast, which is something. So I think we sack this to the tower next. We mill another Supplier. Probably not going to be able to get there, unfortunately. Weird game. If I find a Kroxa, we could get there if their hand is 2 lands. We mill 2 more Bloodghast after we've played our land. Alright, pack it in. It's a fun match. It ended up being not that bad though, because they had double Shadow after that. So I don't know that I'd necessarily agree, but I should have thought about it some more for sure. Yeah, very fun deck. I got Athena like a head wrap that's supposed to make fireworks less loud for her, because she always gets so anxious during the fireworks, but she like hates it. Esther says she looks like a babushka. Alright, I think I actually just really want to be able to play the Bombardment turn 2, and the only way I can guarantee doing that is by playing the Theater turn 1, so let's do that. Hey, Sanchez. Alright, so they play a Windswept Heath, and then they pass the turn. She's got some anxiety medicine that we can give her. Diagnosed dogxiety. Yeah, we want to pass it with Bowmaster up here, I think. This should be another fun matchup. So now if the Spyro gets countered, we have the Nightmare for it, which is good. If it resolves, we're discarding, I guess, Supplier and Kroxa. You remember the old like MH2 Rakdos Sacrifice deck? That deck was just amazing. Okay, now I regret not discarding my my 3-drop. Maybe I should have because I had the Nightmare anyways. Oh, this is Neoform? Okay, well this is less fun. We did come prepared. We have Flares, Vexing Baubles, and Thoughtseizes. And I might bring in Maguses also. So we might bring in 12 cards. So next turn we can go Bombardment, 5 damage, Unearth, Seasoned Pyromancer, 3 more damage, which is only 8. I was briefly playing Sack with Amped Raptor. Yeah, Raptor was really fun, but it was also really, really busted. Formerly Beef, 11 months, welcome back. Remember, this is the thing I can do. Let's go. A nice ad-free viewing experience. So Urini can deal 3 damage here. Urini is actually kind of beatable because Sephiroth just takes like a whole turn off the clock, maybe. So what we can maybe do next turn is go Bombardment. Interesting. Okay, so let's go Bombardment. I'm going to attack with both, expecting my opponent to block the Seasoned Pyromancer and not the Elemental token. I think we just need every point of damage in there. Yeah, so they block here, so this is a point that's kind of easy to miss. So they go down to 11, then down to 10. Then I get to go Unearth, Seasoned Pyromancer, and let's discard our other 2 3-drops so that we can maybe Unearth. We really want to draw a black source. Discard 1, 2. We did draw the black source, so we can flip the Sephiroth here, maybe. So yeah, we can flip the Sephiroth. We can't quite kill them, but getting the emblem could be nice here. Yeah, we could put them to 1. Not 0. Wait, they were dead if I didn't sack to the Sephiroth trigger, right? Dang it. Should still be in pretty good shape. It's very unlikely they Allosaurus Rider me again. Okay, winning game 1 is incredibly lucky, and okay, do I want Magus on the draw? I think yes. Like Thoughtseize and the Magus is going to be a good sequence a lot of the time. Okay, so I think I want to go down like 2 bombardments, both nightmares, both trespassers. I guess we could also unearth the Magi. 6 more cuts. I think 1 Sephiroth can go, 1 Spyro can go, 1 Kroxa can go, 2 Kroxa can go, 1 Supplier can go, 1 Bowmaster can go. Bowmaster's kind of good against Gristlebrand. Alright, let's try this. Kind of funny that that even if they went Rider Neoform, they die with it on the stack. Oh, that's true. Well, not going to mulligan this one. Let's put back the Bloodghast. Flare's not like your best piece of interaction, but it does beat Urini, which, like, you know, that's what it seems like they're going for. I guess it doesn't beat Galta Urini. It's kind of tough to play around with Flare. Supplier worse without Nightmare. That's true. It does, like, lead to, like, maybe fast Unearth Magus of the Moons. Although we need to draw an Unearth to Unearth. They pitched a Summoner's Pact and a Nature's Claim. If they put Galta in play, we'll let the trigger go on the stack first. Okay, they passed back. So I guess they could still have Xenagos, but I think it matters that much. Like, all their stuff is 8, so... Or they're not going to put, like, a 9 in play that this hits. I think a lot of people think Galta costs 7. That happened last time we played this deck. People got confused. Their last 2 cards are Urini and Atraxa. Just all natural, no summoners packs, game 3. So I got very lucky game 1, got kind of unlucky game 2. We could have mulliganed more aggressively also. Could have gone to 5. Okay, on the play. We've got a Thoughtseize. We've got kind of a slow hand beyond that. I think I should mulligan. I don't really like that hand very much. Okay, they're on 6. We're going to 5. Okay, this hand is a lot better. We're going to put back, I guess, second Bowmaster in the Bombardment. And then we want to lead on the Thoughtseize because of Veil of Summer. Yeah, I think that hand beats a lot of their draws. Okay, so they have 2 Disciple of Freylis as their only lands. I have the answers to... Yeah, I think I just got to take the land here with the Bauble in my hand. Now we both have a 1-lander. They've drawn their second land. So have we. Not the Evo. Well, the Vexing Bauble stops all of these cards. And so, like, they also need to draw, like, 2 lands for the Evos. I think it's the land here. This game is also gonna go long. Do my dogs yap a lot? Athena is a husky who's just completely silent. She just... she very, very rarely says anything, and when she does, she's like, wow, 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 wow. She, like, talk to you instead of howling or barking. Lucy is a lot more barky. So they've hit only land drops so far. I think Evo, because it's going along, I assume they have Mandrills. I guess that's a good point, the Mandrills. I am on board. Certainly against them drawing 3 lands in a row, do I like take the evolution line. They do keep a card on top, which sucks. Is it Nature's Claim? It is Nature's Claim. So they can't go for Gristlebrand. I think I beat a Urini pretty often too. The mystery card was Xenagos. Tough. I guess there's some respect. Would have also done this. Dang, that was tough. Alright, I guess we do one more. I should have taken the evolution. I think the Mandrills makes the case. Their draws were... just stings that every single one of their cards that they drew that game was relevant.